Mountaineer fans, I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. But I may not be concerned about what you think I'm concerned about. And I'm going to tell you what I'm concerned about right after this word from my channel sponsor.
Since 1931, the attorneys at Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner have been the voice for victims who have suffered serious injury or death. They have a fierce passion for truth and justice and a sincere compassion for those who have been wronged by others. Whether you have been in a car accident, are fighting with an insurance company, or you or a loved one has suffered serious injury or death due to medical negligence, we will ensure your voice is heard loud and clear. Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner will ensure there is justice for all West Virginians because we are your lawyer, your voice. Visit us at yourlawyeryourvoice.com.
What is up? Welcome into another edition of Couz's Corner. Come on in. I'm your host, Couz. If you like West Virginia Mountaineer football content, or you like conference realignment content, or even the Big 12, this is a channel for you. You will feel right at home. Come on in. Make yourself comfortable. Belly yourself up to the bar. Let me pour you out a shot of top shelf college football content. On tap at Couz's Corner today, we are going to talk about why am I concerned about the Mountaineers. And I would tell you that I'm concerned about the defensive secondary, and I am slightly concerned about the defensive secondary. But what I'm more concerned about and what I want to focus on in this video is us. That's right, us, the fans. Are we overreacting based on 2 football games? And I know some of you are already going to throw things at the screen. You're going to be, Couz, you're drinking the Kool-Aid again and yada, yada. No, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I did drink the Kool-Aid at the beginning of the season. Right now, I'm extremely, extremely careful not to do that again. But I will tell you this. I am as guilty as anybody. I posted stuff on Twitter during the game the other night against Albany. I said the team wasn't very good. I was apologizing on behalf of the team to the Big 12 Conference. I did it during that stretch where they were giving up long pass plays. After the game was over, we covered the spread. I took a few hours to think about it, slept on it a day or two, and I realized, man, I overreacted. I shouldn't have done that. I even put on Twitter, hey, I did this in the heat of the moment, yada, yada. But it's normal, right? We're fans. We get aggravated. We want our team to win. It's because we care. We care so darn much, right? We want our team to win, man. We feel like we're out there with them sometimes. But it's almost like we've given up on the team when they haven't even started conference play yet. And a lot of it is based on the secondary. And I get it. The secondary play in the Albany game, at least for a portion of the game anyway, did not look good. And everybody's acknowledged it. Even the coaching staff has acknowledged it. They also didn't look great at times against Penn State. So fans are wanting to fire Jordan Leslie. Fans are wanting to fire Neil Brown. Fans are wanting to, bench players and all this stuff. And all that is, as fans, it's stuff that is going to happen, right? It's part of the game, part of it. But when you sit back and think about it, first I want to give a shout out to the Beard. Go check his YouTube channel out. Also, he has a podcast. Just type in the Beard WVU football on YouTube and you'll find it. And I also want to give a shout out to Chris Hall and Skylar Callahan over at West Virginia on SI, the Sports Illustrated site that covers the Mountaineers. I was listening to their podcast as I was traveling too. I want to give both of them a shout out for kind of bringing me back down to earth and talking me off the ledge at least for a few days. But a couple of things I want to talk about. First of all, let's talk about the defense, okay, and why I think we might be overreacting based on a couple of games. First off, when you look at the defense, everybody's talking about Jordan Leslie and wanting to fire Jordan Leslie, right? Well, when you look at Western, Jordan Leslie became the co-DC, the co-DC in 2020. 2019, we had Vic Canning. We know what happened that offseason. He left the program. Coach Brown named Jordan Leslie and Jamal Adai the co-DCs for the 2020 season. The 2020 season, West Virginia finished first in the Big 12 in total defense. First in the Big 12 in pass defense. That's right, pass defense. Now, there were some NFL caliber players on that team. There were the Steele brothers, Akeem Mesidor, Tony Fields, I think, was on that team potentially, if I remember correctly. There were a couple guys in the secondary that were really good. There were a lot of talented guys on that roster. So obviously they're going to be better, right? But if Jordan Leslie was a bad football coach and a bad defensive coordinator, would he have been able to finish first in the conference in total defense and pass defense? Okay, let's keep going. And I know a lot of people are going to say we need to credit Jamal Adai for that. And maybe he's partially responsible, but he was a co-DC, right? All right, 2021. West Virginia was 5th in the Big 12 out of a 10-team conference, so they were middle of the conference in total defense. We're 3rd in the Big 12 in pass defense in 2021. Okay. In 2022, West Virginia was 6th in the Big 12 in total defense, 9th in the Big 12 in pass. That was 22 was the year that they were really bad. Okay. The pass defense was terrible. They were giving up 262 yards a game through the air, finished 9th in the league. Everybody's acknowledged it was bad. Charles Woods went down the first game of the season. They were never able to recover. And then 2023, last year, West Virginia was 7th in the conference in a 14-team conference in total defense and 8th in pass defense. So, again, about middle of the pack. So, has West Virginia been elite or even great on defense? No, but they haven't been terrible. They've been about middle of the pack for the most part, with the exception of the 2022 season. One season. And I've even made comments lately that I feel this has a feel a little bit like the 22 season because of, we heard during the off season before that year that, this was the most athletic secondary we've had. There was all the hype going into the first backyard brawl game and so long. The secondary ended up being bad that year, and the defense ended up being bad, and West Virginia ended up going 5-7. Right? We remember that. But we need to remember it also has a little bit of a feel to the 2023 season. 2023, West Virginia opens the year up, loses to Penn State by 3 scores, comes out, struggles for about a quarter to a quarter and a half, maybe 2 quarters with an FCS team, and then ends up blowing them out. Fast forward a year, West Virginia loses to Penn State by 3 scores. Now, this time it was at home, and there was a lot more hype built up around the game, so it made it harder to swallow, and the team honestly looked worse. I will acknowledge that. And they turn around game 2. They struggle for about a quarter or so on defense to an FCS team, but then end up blowing them out. Sound familiar? Well, that team last year went on to win 9 games and win a bowl game. Who's to say this team can't do the same thing? And something that Chris and Scott pointed out in their show, anytime with the era of the transfer portal, when you have this many guys on a roster, look at the defensive side of the ball and how many transfers West Virginia has, and even freshmen. It's going to take a few games for those guys to adjust. I've even talked about that in previous shows. Anytime you bring these transfers in, especially the ones from a lower level, it takes them several games to adjust. So we can't expect West Virginia to come out in game 1 of the season or even game 2 of the season and be 100% sharp. They're going to make mistakes. It's going to take some time. Look at all the sloppy games around the country that teams have played. Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois. Oklahoma struggled with Houston, who might be the worst team in the Big 12. Look at all the turnovers in the Arkansas-Oklahoma State game. I mean, game after game after game, you saw struggles. Teams playing sloppy football because it's early in the season. New players are trying to learn new systems, new coaches, all this stuff. It's going to take time. But we're wanting to jump way off the ledge because we lose to a top 10 team and have a quarter to a quarter and a half of bad football on one, really at a couple of positions against an FCS school. I just don't. I think we're making way too big a deal out of it. Now, if West Virginia goes on to lose to Pitt and lo and behold lose to Kansas too, yes, I might have to go back and say I was wrong. But right now, I think we've hit the panic button too fast. Way too fast. And something that the Beard pointed out on his show, speaking about the FCS game, something the Beard pointed out on his show that really got me thinking, and he had some great points. The 2012 team that had Geno Smith and crew, they were losing 12-10 to Norfolk State at halftime of that game. Norfolk State. They went on to win it like 56-10 or whatever. The 2016 team with Skylar Howard that ended up finishing with 10 wins. They struggled with Youngstown State for a half or three, maybe even three quarters. Same thing with the 2018 team led by Will Greer. They struggled with Youngstown State, who, oh, by the way, ended up finishing 4-7 in FCS play. So they will end up winning the games, but there were some struggles. It's not unusual for a team to struggle early in the season. Even good teams struggle sometimes. The main thing is you win. You get out of there with a win. You clean. You get some things on tape you can clean up. You get some backups, some playing time, and you sharpen the saw, as some people like to say. It's a phrase meaning you improve your craft, and that's what they were able to do. So let's stop panicking. Let's stop wanting to fire everybody when you look. And by the way, something else I thought about. I can't forget this. We all, a year ago, were wanting to credit Shadon Brown and Jordan Leslie and everybody for bringing in Benny Bishop and turning Benny Bishop, who was basically a backup corner at Minnesota, and turning him into a consensus All-American. Now, all of a sudden, we want to fire the same coaches over 2 games? Was the Benny Bishop thing just an anomaly or no? Come on. We can do better than that. Give the new players that have transferred in some time. Give them another game or two. Let's see how much they improve. And then we can panic. But right now, it's way too early to be panicking. Even me, I'm guilty. So I'm not being a hypocrite because I'm owning it. I'm guilty. I am a fan just like you are. But sometimes I have to sit back and realize, man, what am I thinking? What am I doing? Why am I panicking? This is crazy. Social media, man. I get on social media and I drink the negativity Kool-Aid, if you want to call it that. And I want to go down that same path. We've got to stop doing that, at least this early. Give this team and this coaching staff some time to clean up the mess, clean up the mistakes, and then let's see what we got. Okay? There's a long way to go. Still 10 more games, including conference play. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Am I full of it here? Am I being too sunshine and rainbows? Am I pumping too much sunshine? Whatever. That's okay if you think that. Let me know in the comment section. Or do you agree with me? You can tell me that too. I want to give a shout out to my VIP channel members of this episode. They are the runner-up, Steve Moser, Kenneth North, and Fanboy Prime. If you want to join this club, hit the join button below or go to my channel homepage and hit join there. I have a merch store. Go to couzescorner.com/shop. Go down to Couz's Corner merch store. Check out the merch I have. But you can also get links to the Fanatics shopping page where you can get your Fanatics gear and your ONIT athlete trading cards. West Virginia is not out yet for this season, but it will be coming. But you can, if you're a fan of another team, you can find their team over there as well. Or if you're just a card collector, go to couzescorner.com/shop and you'll see the link to the ONIT athlete trading card page. And it all goes towards players NIL, by the way. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the things us YouTubers ask for. Another shout out to my sponsor, Cats, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner. Thank them for helping me keep the lights on. Call them if you have been in an accident in the state of West Virginia, or if you need a medical malpractice attorney. That's who you need to go to. Check out this video in the corner of your screen. Have a top shelf day or night. And don't forget to cue country roads.